Hey everyone, it's Hima here. Chart of the week is gold and oil. Today's Wednesday, August 14th, 2019. Before we take a look at the charts, important reminder that trading and investing can be extremely risky business. Therefore, it's your responsibility to evaluate any information, opinion, advice, or other content contained in this video. So here we have the daily chart of gold futures. So that's COMEX gold, symbol GC, at symbol is signifying that this is a continuous contract chart. Each front month is linking to the previous active front month. And I've got RSI power zones at the bottom. Now, you might be looking at this and wonder why I have lines that are through price for resistance and not above it. Well, these are resistance levels that I noted recently to my students in our monthly live coaching sessions. And I want to show you how price has acted around them before I remove them. So take a look back at this run-up. Notice that the June 25th, July 3rd, July 18th, July 19th highs all hung out around this 1457.9 level. So this harkens back to a lesson from my Wall Street days where I would consider that resistance even though price didn't touch it to the exact tick and pull back, but I got a little flack for that because clients wanted very, very precise support and resistance levels. So I'm here to tell you folks that that's not how the market works. It's going to be very rare that you are exact to the tick or the penny. The important thing is that you're creating a zone, okay? A price ceiling above the current price or a price floor below. So in my book, this is pretty good resistance and it was useful for dealing with the consolidation that unfolded. Now it's behind us and we take it off because that's from a level way back when. Along the way, there was a resistance at 1491.3. We blasted right through it on a daily chart. So this brings in the point that not all resistance levels are equal, okay? Some will have more impact in causing an uptrend to pause than others. So just because there's a resistance level out on your chart, if you're in an uptrend, and how do we know we're in an uptrend here? Because we have RSI that broke out from the bull support power zone, came to the bull resistance power zone, and trend with higher highs and higher lows, okay? So don't just stick your hand out and start selling just because there's a resistance level. You will be in trouble if you do it on a day like August 7th. Now, one thing I do want to point out is that the next two resistances here, so that one and the one that 1525.4, you might be saying, well, price just chopped around it, right? So it wasn't really useful. Well, what about looking at this from a close point of view? Because the most important price of the day or the session, if you're intraday, is the close. Notice that while the market approached this 1525.4 a few different times, it couldn't close below it. And even today, it might be struggling. So it doesn't mean that that's an area to go short. It just means that if you have accumulated long positions, then you might want to start raising your protective stop. And in my view, the protective stop at a conservative place should be below the previous old high. Okay, old price ceilings can become new price floors. So this price level at 1467.3 on a daily chart for swing trade, that would be your biggest window you'd want to give as a protective stop if you've been long anywhere in this uptrend, either this spring through summer one or back from late last fall. Now, where is price headed? Let's go take a look at my monthly chart. Yeah, I'm skipping over the weekly on purpose because I just want to show you a different time frame that I don't talk about often and see how here this is the same chart. This is the same resistance level that I just showed you in the daily that we're kind of churning around. Doesn't mean it's going to be broken above or below. We have to wait and see on the daily close, remember. But now I already have 3 other upside targets for you, okay? Is the market going to run straight up into each of these without a break? Probably not. How do you know when it's going to take a break? That's where you look at price and trend and momentum and time, okay? All together, looking for signals, looking for shifts in trend, etc. So these are my upside targets for gold. Those of you in the long haul looking to take off profits at any point, those are the levels I see. Now we move on to oil. Okay, so moving on to oil. There's an interesting situation here where we've got these two consolidation trend lines. The top one was confirmed with monthly price action. So it joins the October 2018, April 2019, and then July 2019 highs. So that's a pretty useful resistance level to keep monitoring. The lower trend line that's rising is technically not confirmed. It's just two tentative points, and right now price action is around it. So what does this mean for oil in the short term and the long term? So here's the daily chart. And on the daily chart, you can see those same two trend lines, okay, show a different type of price action in terms of confirmation. See how on the daily chart, price never got back up to the falling trend line, even though it did on the monthly. This is why it's so important to apply multi-time frame analysis, because you can see things on another time frame that's bigger than your trading time frame that may not appear in the shorter term. So where we are now, we've got this churning around this lower line, which see how on the daily chart, this lower line was confirmed. The original touch point is December 24th, 2018 low. Then the anchor or the connector is June 5th, and then we got confirmation on June 12th. So this is, again, why it's important to look especially at trend lines and patterns on more than one time frame. Where we are now, we've got RSI power zone showing weakening out of the bear resistance power zone, potentially on its way back to the bear support power zone. And what would really trigger that would be if we get a closing break below the Tuesday, August 13th session. If we get that, then I think we're on our way down to retest 50.52 with the potential to decline into 47.83. At that point, I think there would be a stronger bounce. On the other hand, if we don't get a close below yesterday's low and we see oil futures starting to recover higher, again, this is CL as a symbol, crude oil, NYMEX futures, continuous chart here, then we would see potential recovery back towards 50.82. That's sort of shaping the latest down move. And if there's a break above it, there's actually a lot of potential resistance in this whole zone from 61.06 to 58.82 because it includes the falling trend line. Okay, trend lines are just moving targets of resistance or support. So it's important to monitor their new values day to day or session to session so that you can get the most out of them. So that's what I'm seeing on gold and oil. It's interesting. Gold is in a very strong move, and that's why I wanted to point it out. And oil, while it's kind of been chopping, consolidating, I'm seeing is getting pretty close to doing something more significant. All right. So definitely take your own look at daily charts and monthly charts on gold and oil futures and draw this analysis up for yourself and monitor it to help you boost your trading. See you next time.